tires on 2 trucks at the same time.
Tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
Actually, I'm not going to be turning any wrenches at all. I'm going to have somebody else do it. So I've got my FJ Cruiser over here. These tires are shot. Video is going to capture it, but these are all cracked. They're older than probably some of my kids. I've got a brand new Jeep Gladiator, all nice and spiffy. It's got 33-inch tires on it. Figure what I'm going to do, since I need to buy tires anyway, I can upgrade those to 35s, pop those 33s here. This guy gets bigger tires. This guy gets bigger tires. And then, since I can't be trusted with money, that wasn't far enough. So what I ended up doing is buying some new wheels to go on the Gladiator. So we're going to do a whole wheel and tire swap. These 1552s, they're the Traverse HDs. They look pretty awesome. I'll show you what they look like once we get them on the truck. They're going on here. Those Gladiator wheels are going to go in the boxes, and I'll figure out something to do with them. These 33s, like I said, going on my beloved FJ Cruiser. And then, yeah, so that's what we're doing today. As we start the morning, first thing I need to do is get these wheels loaded in the truck. I'll do that, and I think I need to get some lugs, because the lugs that are on the Jeep are too big, too fat to go into the holes, that's what she said, of the 1552. So let me get these loaded up, and then let's get this going. All right, I'll give you a sneak peek of what we're looking at installing. So these are, I guess, the block bronze with a black ring. These are wheels similar to what were on the Hoonigan truck. Those were a different style, but the same color pattern. So these are pretty cool. I think they're going to look great on the Gladiator. Break up some of that black a little bit. Then the big question is, do I go with black walls or do I go with white letter, like I have got currently on the FJ Cruiser? So that's what we're going to do. Here's what I was talking about. These holes for the lugs are pretty narrow compared to the ones on the Gladiator stock. So just keep that in mind if you're doing the same tire wheel combination. You're gonna need to buy some lug bolts. All right, so we're a couple weeks after the last part of this video where I was showing you the wheels. I got the wheels and tires. I got the tires on the FJ. There is a little bit of rubbing on the FJ, in case you were wondering. I've got to probably do the body mount chop to that. If it bugs me, it's rubbing a little bit, but not a lot, except for at full lock. So I'll monitor that, and I'll see what I have to do. The Gladiator looks great. Got a little bit of wheel poke, which I'll address here in a second. So you'll see it comes out a little bit, so it's gonna start spraying crap on the side of the truck. Could chew up the paint. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the fender flares on it. I'll show you guys how to do that in a second, but let me show you what this looks like with the wheels and tires on it. Again, I got the 1552 Traverse HDs. I think they look really good on that. And then we got 35 by 12.5 by 17 BF Goodrich all-terrain TAs, KO2s on that. And I think it turned out really good. They looked a lot larger than I was expecting when they first came out, but I think it looks great. There's no rubbing. Everything's good so far. I have not taken it off-road, so it's been a bit of a pavement princess since I got them, but I'm preparing for getting it off-road. Got a steel bumper and some other stuff to put on there. I've already got a flag so that I can go to some off-road parks and play around with it. So what I'm going to do, as I alluded to already, is we're going to put the fender flares on these fenders. It's going to give you about an inch maybe, and hopefully show you what I'm working with here. You see, that's what's poking out in the front and the back. So it's not horrible, but at the same time, I'd rather not spray all that crap because black is an unforgiving color when it comes to showing dirt. So let me turn the camera around. I'll show you what I'm going to be putting on. All right, so here's what I got. And I'll leave a link in the description of where I got these, but these are from Amazon, and they're simply just plastic fender flares that go on the fenders. And they have these holes already, and the holes are supposed to line up perfectly with the plastic rivets that are already on the underside of the fenders. They make two different kinds. The ones I got here are for the high fenders on the Mojaves and Rubicons. So if you don't have one of those models, you want to get the other ones. I'll leave links to both of them in the video description, just so you guys can see. So let me get the tools I need and I'll start putting these on. All right, I'm going to take you to through the steps to install these. Hopefully you can hear me. There's a lot of wind right now. We're supposed to get some storms, but anyway, we'll carry on. So the tools I'm going to be using, I've got a trim tool here. This is a plastic one. I've got a metal one as well, but since I am going to be scraping on plastic up here, I want to use plastic just because it's less abrasive. So you've got holes already pre-drilled in these, and on the front is a little bit different than the back. The front, most of these holes are going to line up. There's a couple holes that they're calling to put screws in. I'm going to see how this fits without the screws. Then I may either put the screws in. They look like they're self-tapping screws, which is no big deal. If those don't work, I'll just drill holes and put more plastic rivets in them like this. Either way, I think will be fine, but we're going to start with just the rivets that line up with these rivets already. So if you put it up against here, you'll see in this particular case, I'm going to put the rivet, this hole is right here. It's going to match up with that rivet. You're going to have a hole that would be for a tapped, self-tapping screw. Then you're going to have one matching up, another self-tapping screw hole, then a rivet, 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 and then rivet, another self-tapping screw hole. So what that means, we got to take this rivet all the way down through the back of this fender. So in order to do that, you want to get this V part, and you want to get underneath one of these rivets here. You want to get underneath the edge. So I've got this wedged up underneath the little flange on that rivet, and I just want to pull that out. It's going to feel kind of sketchy if you've never done this before, but you're loosening it up, and then it popped out. What it ends up looking like is something like these, where it's going to be all mangled because you got up under it. And what you're doing is you're actually getting up under here, and you're just prying it out and basically breaking this whole thing inside here, which is what holds everything together. So don't worry, they got more of these with the kit that this comes with, so you'll have these plastic rivets to replace. So these are just throwaways. So we're going to do that all along here. It's the same concept. Again, you get under it, as best you can, and then just start prying it out. Like I said, I've got a metal one as well that does the same thing. So on ones that are particularly a pain in the butt, you can get under it with that. Just try not to mar the plastic up too much. If you get it so far, you've also got pliers you can pull with. You're always safest with these tools though. And they will come out. It's just gotta coax them too. So let me get the rest of these out, and then we will join you back, show you how to line everything up, and put the new ones in. All right, so now we got all the rivets out. I'm going to just spray this down real quick. Wipe it down, and that way we're not like trapping dirt between the fender flare and the fender itself. Next step is we're going to take the rivets that come with it. This is what they look like. So you'll see this little core is what pulls down on here when this is pulled out, and it collapses that and makes the rivet hold on to whatever you're trying to rivet together. So what you want to do is get one of these tools. I know you can do it with pliers too. It's better to get these tools. I'll put a link where I got this on Amazon. So put that in the hole like that, and then you'll want to line up a hole with the first hole here. And I like to kind of push it in as tight as I can, just so I know I'm getting a tight fit. And then you squeeze it, and it should hold. So now I'm going to tack it up with another one, probably right here. Make sure we keep those holes lined up. And again, just keep the fender flare in line much you can. Pull that, now it's tacked up. Just rinse and repeat. I'll keep doing the rest of these, and I'll join you back in a second. I'll show you what the next step is. We're going to cut these little nubs off, and then we'll move to the back. All right, so I've got all the rivets in. Everything's nice and tight. And then the next step is just to carefully, you want to take a razor blade and then carefully cut these little posts off like that. Cut those off all the way down. Again, I mean, it calls for those self-tapping screws, but I'm going to try to go without them for now. I can always put it back in later, or like I said, drill holes where they need to be and put rivets in there. So let me get these cut off. I'll show you the backs, which are slightly different, but not much. They're actually a little bit easier, and then we'll be done. All right, so the backs are a little easier in that there's screws line, or the holes line up perfectly. There are no off screws that they're asking you to put any kind of self-tapping screws in. So all these holes line up perfectly with the existing rivets. So you're going to be right here and then all the way back. So I think there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go ahead and remove this one here all the way back to the bottom of the fender. I'll do that, and then I'll join you back. All right, I've got all the rivets out, cleaned up the area with a little bit of glass cleaner, and now we're just gonna put these rivets in, and we will be done. And then what I'll do is I'll finish this up, and then I'll get like a side angle shot of the truck, and you can see what it looks like. I think I've got one also before, so we'll show before and after. All right, so let me get these in. It's the same procedure, putting the rivets in, and then taking a razor blade or something like that and just snapping off the little nubs, and then we are done. It's pretty easy. It's a real easy job. Anybody could do it. Get this tool if you can, because it's just going to save you a lot of time. Makes it really easy. And some plastic trim tools. You could always use those. So, all right, links will be in the video description of where to get all this crap. And I'll show you, again, like I said, a side shot of what it looks like. And that's it. So, all right, so I'll give you a view of what it looks like, the final product. See, it looks pretty good. It covers a little bit of poke that I've got on the wheels for the front and the back. It looks pretty good from the front. It's a nice addition, especially with these wheels and tires. That combo is really good. And hopefully this will keep some of the schmutz off the side of my truck. All right. Thanks for watching. I will put links in the description of this video of where I got all of the items that I'm installing on here, as well as the tools I used, just to make it easy for you guys. Like and subscribe. I'll be putting more content out for the Gladiator here, as well as the FJ Cruiser with its new 33s, and then obviously the motorcycles and the BMW. So, all right, thanks for watching.